Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're looking at the ugly boy, the E6. Not my favorite tank, by far, but a lot of people do like it, and especially after the current update, a lot of people like it even more. And to be fair, it doesn't necessarily fully fit my playstyle, but I understand why some people would like this tank. Now, the tank in itself is quite interesting to look at. I mean, if we compare it directly to the E5, which is sort of its heavy tank brother, we can see that this tank has a lot more DPM, so 3,300. It has some good weapon handling, but not good enough to say that it's better than the E5. The E5 definitely has much better aim time, much shorter aim time, to be fair, and a little bit better when it comes to the dispersion levels. Now, when it comes to mobility, of course, the E6 is going to be faster with a much better power to weight ratio and good speed, 50 kilometers forward compared to the 42 on the E5. And of course, the E6 is also going to be winning in the DPM department, right? You're going to be having 3.3k, as I said, which is really, really good. And especially for a heavy tank, I mean, you can shred mediums with this. A lot of mediums have 3.4, 3.5, some have 3.3. So seriously, with this amount of DPM, you're going to have an alpha and very similar DPM. So you're pretty much going to be winning in a lot of engagements, right? Now, on top of this tank has 10 degrees of gun depression, while the E5 has only 8. But the E6 doesn't have the greatest turret. It still has that monstrous cupola on top of it. And I guess you can pen it quite easily, like the turret itself, if you switch to gold, especially if you're heavy. I mean, I never really have a problem with the E6's turret unless I'm a medium or light. Even then, it's not that hard to deal with, right? Now, the main problem for this tank is that it's sort of a conventional heavy, right? Apart from the fact that it has really good DPM, it's sort of a conventional heavy, and it's sort of like a heavy tank we used to see a lot, but without the armor. Like, if you look at the AMX-50B, I really like it because it's unconventional. It is a drum tank. It doesn't have armor, but I can do 4 shots and then pull back. I can do 3 shots and I can pull back, so I can trade shots, 3 shots for 1. In the E6, you're still having that conventional gun, but you don't necessarily have the armor to back it up sometimes, and I really feel like you need a little bit of armor as a heavy tank. If I made a decision in this regard, I think I would give this tank a little bit more armor, but remove a little bit of DPM. Because to me, right now, this tank is sort of really hard to play, because it doesn't necessarily have that medium mobility, but it sort of has that medium playstyle, if you know what I mean. And to be a medium, I feel like your mobility is quite important. This is why I also don't like the American mediums as well, simply because they don't have enough mobility to back it up. And in general, I don't find the playstyle amazing. But then again, if you're a player that enjoys this type of playstyle, who doesn't rely that much on armor, I mean, be my guest, this tank is going to be great for you because, it has a good gun. It has decent mobility, good mobility, decent for a medium, of course, but it has good mobility, especially for a heavy tank, so you can change positions, change flanks when need be. So yeah, I mean, it's a solid tank in general, but again, it has a very niche or specific playstyle, which I'm not a big fan of. Again, some players may like it. I mean, I wouldn't even consider this a full-on hull-down tank, because, I mean, if the Wargaming removed the cupola and gave this tank, like, decent turret armor, then this tank would be close to OP, because this tank would be very, very strong, and no other tank in-game would come close. But as of now, again, it's not my favorite playstyle, but I would still recommend it to players who enjoy it. So, tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below, and with that, Happy is out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.